I still remember my first brisket. I spent 14 hours babysitting a cheap offset smoker, fighting temperature swings in the cold, only to serve my family dry, tough meat. Sound familiar? Buying your first smoker is incredibly overwhelming with all the offset, pellet, electric, and charcoal options out there. You just want something that makes amazing barbecue without requiring a degree in thermodynamics. Today, I'm breaking down the top 7 starter smokers I have personally tested to find the absolute best balance of flavor, ease of use, and price. Let's find your perfect match. 7. Weber Searwood 600. When I first got my hands on the Weber Searwood, I was excited to see Weber's latest pellet grill iteration. Out of the box, it features that classic Weber build quality and a sturdy frame. It is designed to be a high-heat searing machine that can also handle low and slow smoking, which sounds like the perfect dream for a beginner wanting a single outdoor cooker. However, during my actual testing, I found that being a hybrid means it doesn't quite master traditional smoking. I threw a rack of spare ribs on it, and while the temperature held well, the smoke profile was incredibly light. The powerful fan system needed for high searing temperatures blows through pellets rapidly, pushing the delicate blue smoke right out of the chamber before it can stick to the meat. The digital controller and app integration are definitely modern, but they felt overly complicated for someone just learning the ropes. I fought the Wi-Fi connection more than once just to check the internal probe. For a beginner, you want the technology to fade into the background, not become a frustrating new hurdle to troubleshoot while your food is cooking. Ultimately, while it absolutely crushes grilling steaks with direct flame access, it feels confused as a dedicated starter smoker. If your goal is authentic, deep bark pulled pork, you will likely be frustrated by the high pellet consumption and a premium price tag that feels too heavy for an entry-level commitment. 6. Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Drum Smoker and Grill. Next up is the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco Drum Smoker, and unboxing this thing is a serious workout. Built out of heavy-gauge steel, it feels like an absolute tank that could survive a natural disaster. The unique drum design is undeniably cool, and it includes meat hangers, which immediately made me want to smoke ribs vertically, just like the old-school pitmasters do. But that heavy-duty, old-school charm comes with a reality check that hit me hard during my test cook. Unlike modern electric smokers, the Bronco relies entirely on your ability to manually manage airflow using intake dampers. For a complete beginner, this presents a very steep learning curve. During my first attempt, I opened the intake slightly too much, and the temperature spiked dangerously in minutes. Bringing that heat back down in a heavy steel drum is incredibly difficult once the charcoal is fully stoked. You really have to babysit this smoker, constantly checking the thermometer and making micro adjustments. While I eventually got a decent result, it required a level of anxiety and constant hovering that most beginners simply don't want on a relaxing weekend. Furthermore, cleaning the ash pan at the bottom of the drum is a messy chore compared to modern systems. It is a rugged, incredibly durable piece of equipment that produces great flavor, but the demanding fire management makes it a tough recommendation for someone who just wants to relax while their smoker does the work. 5. Masterbuilt Digital Electric Vertical Barbecue Smoker. Moving on to number 5, we have the Masterbuilt Digital Electric Vertical Smoker. And this is where the stress of barbecue completely disappears. Setting up this vertical cabinet took me under 30 minutes. Its footprint is incredibly compact, making it an absolute dream if you are working with a small apartment balcony or a tight patio space. The testing process with this unit was a massive sigh of relief. You literally plug it into a standard outlet, punch your desired temperature into the digital control panel, and walk away. I threw a whole chicken inside, filled the side-loading wood chip tray, and didn't touch it again until the timer went off. The insulation holds the heat perfectly. One of my favorite features during testing was the side-loading wood chip system. You don't have to open the main door and lose all your precious heat just to add smoke flavor. You simply twist the loader, dump the chips in, and slide it back. It produces a very clean, consistent heat that is brilliant for delicate meats. While an electric smoker won't give you that deep pink smoke ring found with charcoal, the sheer convenience factor is off the charts. It is the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it machine. For the beginner intimidated by fire management but desperately wanting homemade smoked meats, this is a solid, budget-friendly start. 4. Pit Boss 820 Deluxe Pellet Grill. Coming in at number 4 is the Pit Boss 820 Deluxe Pellet Grill, which hits a fantastic middle ground for beginners who want both size and simplicity. When I put this together, I was immediately impressed by the sheer amount of cooking real estate. With over 800 square inches, I comfortably fit 2 large briskets and a rack of ribs simultaneously. The feature that really sets this Pit Boss apart for a starter is the slide plate flame broiler. By pulling a simple lever, you slide the heat deflector away and get direct flame access for searing. I found this incredibly useful when I wanted to smoke thick pork chops low and slow, then immediately hit them with an open flame for a beautiful crust. The dial-in temperature control board is very straightforward and incredibly easy to understand. You don't need a complicated smartphone app. Just turn the dial to your desired temperature, and the auger feeds the pellets automatically. The heavy cast iron grids retain heat beautifully, giving you professional-looking grill marks. It delivers a wonderful, consistent wood-fired flavor that is a massive step up from a basic gas grill. The large hopper holds plenty of pellets for long overnight cooks, meaning you can actually get some sleep. It is a rugged, highly versatile machine that offers massive value for your first serious step into pellet smoking. 3. Traeger Grills Pro 22. Taking the number 3 spot is the legendary Traeger Grills Pro 22, widely considered the gold standard for anyone entering the pellet grill space. There is a reason the name Traeger is practically synonymous with pellet smoking. From the moment I fired up this classic bronze barrel, it became clear why so many recommend this specific model to beginners. What I absolutely love about the Pro 22 is how beautifully it handles the fundamentals of barbecue. The digital Pro controller is remarkably accurate, completely taking the guesswork out of the equation. I loaded it with hickory pellets, set it to 225 degrees, and the temperature stayed perfectly locked in for 8 straight hours. It comes equipped with dual meat probes, which is a massive confidence booster when you are just starting out. Instead of constantly opening the lid and letting heat escape to check your meat, you simply plug the probes into the board and monitor the internal temperature directly from the display. This single feature prevents so many beginner mistakes. The Sawhorse chassis makes it remarkably stable, and the all-terrain wheels mean you can easily drag it across your lawn. It provides a clean, sweet, and incredibly consistent smoke profile that guarantees results. If you are looking for the absolute most proven, user-friendly pellet grill experience, the Traeger Pro 22 is an absolute powerhouse. 2. Weber Smokey Mountain Cooker. The runner-up on my list is the iconic Weber Smokey Mountain Cooker, specifically the 18-inch model. If you want to learn the true art of authentic charcoal and wood chunk smoking without being punished by an unforgiving offset smoker, this is the holy grail. Setting up this bullet-style smoker feels like stepping into a beautiful barbecue tradition. During my testing, I used the minion method, filling the charcoal ring with unlit briquettes and adding a small amount of lit coals on top. I was genuinely blown away by how stable the temperature remained. Thanks to the massive water pan, the internal environment stays perfectly humid, naturally holding that ideal 250-degree mark for hours. The flavor you get out of the Weber Smokey Mountain is simply on another level. Because you are using real charcoal and massive chunks of hardwood, you get that incredibly dark, rich bark and a deep smoke ring that pellet grills cannot fully replicate. Taking a bite of a pork rib smoked on this actually made me close my eyes. It forces you to learn just enough about fire management to become a tree pit master without being frustrating. Adjusting the bottom vents to dial in the heat is intuitive and satisfying. For the purist beginner who wants the absolute best traditional flavor with an incredibly manageable learning curve, this cooker is a masterpiece. 1. Camp Chef Pursuit 20. Taking the absolute #1 spot for the best starter smoker is the Camp Chef Pursuit 20. You might be surprised to see a portable pellet grill take the crown, but after running this machine through a gauntlet of tests, it proved itself to be the ultimate secret weapon. It is compact enough to fit in a trunk, yet packs the advanced technology of a premium backyard unit. The primary reason this wins the top spot is Camp Chef's patented ash cleanout system. The biggest pain point for beginner pellet grill owners is taking apart greasy grates to vacuum out the fire pot. With the Pursuit 20, you literally pull a knob on the side, and all the ash drops directly into a removable cup underneath in seconds. Furthermore, the PID controller on this unit is phenomenally accurate and totally customizable. You can set the smoke level exactly where you want it, from 1 to 10, giving you unprecedented control. I cooked a delicate salmon fillet on smoke level 9, and the rich, complex wood flavor it infused was staggering. The slide and grill technology also lets you easily switch to direct flame searing. It features heavy-duty folding legs and wheels, meaning you can easily store it away, take it camping, or roll it out for game day. It gives you premium smoke control, effortless cleanup, and extreme versatility at a highly reasonable price point. The Camp Chef Pursuit 20 completely removes the friction from learning barbecue. Outro. That's all for today, folks.